Yeah. Okay, let's get it started. Let's put it started. We're going to bring that down a little bit. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. We're back at it again. Sorry about no morning stream yesterday. My apologies to all of you. We're trying to figure out some of the new stuff that we're trying over here. Even this stream is probably going to be a little bit off. We're trying new stuff, trying setups and stuff like that. Not sure if I'm crazy about some of the stuff that we have going on here because I want the dope badges to show up on screen. You know what I mean? Like, look at this chat thing. It's not even showing all the dope NERDVENGERS stuff, man. So we might have to go back to the other one. You know what I mean? But we're getting it all sorted out. And despite all the little technical difficulties and growing pains, there's a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. MCU news, Sony news, Marvel news, Disney news, Netflix news, streaming news, contracts. Tom Holland! Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. So we're going to get into all of that and more. I wanted to hang out with you guys, talk about just all the nerdy things that are going on, but we're definitely going to hang on this Sony Marvel thing quite a bit. Did a story yesterday on the Nerdy News Rundown about Willem Dafoe, about Norman Osborn, about all of these crazy things starting to come out. It would appear that much of Spider-Man 3 and the direction that Sony and Marvel were going to take after Spider-Man 3, which I think is really the main point, that a lot of that was lying in wait until such a time as the actual contract and next phase of that negotiation between Sony and Disney was figured out. Totally fair, but also kind of weird. And I want to get into why I think that's weird and all of that. Wanted to update you guys a little bit about some Snyder Cut stuff. Oh my God, Warner Brothers just continues to disappoint and quite frankly infuriate me. So we'll talk about the good, we'll talk about the bad, with all of that and more. But before we do any of that, show notes. Okay, look, I am actually going to do some videos for the Discord later. So I'm going to do a variety of different videos, short little update videos, in which I will be sharing updates and talking to you guys about different things. So that's going to be super cool. Look for that on the Discord because big changes are going to be happening to the channel, the live streaming channel, and things moving forward. I know some people were like, what happened to Debate 8? Well, Adam and I had a big meeting about Debate 8. We're making an announcement about Debate 8. We're actually going to do a sort of new show on Tuesday nights. And honestly, I don't want to tease too much of it, but there's some big things that are coming and changing for the channel, particularly over here on the live streaming channel. So look for those updates on the Discord. But I will say one thing is that we will no longer be doing business tier streams on Sundays. We're going to move those to a weekday. I'm actually thinking either Thursday or Friday in the afternoon. So NERDVENGERS at the Prime level, look out for that. We're no longer going to be doing those things on Sunday. We will do one this Sunday, but after that, we're going to stop doing that. And we're also not going to be doing afternoon anymore. There's not going to be weekend content here at the channel. We're going to start to really focus on the weekdays and getting a lot of good stuff all done on the weekday, and then giving a lot of different people here at the channel, including myself, more of a break on the weekend. So we're going to start to move in that sort of a direction. We think it's actually going to be much better for everybody over here because there's a lot of work being done and there's a lot of work ahead of us. And we're, borderline getting a little burnout. Just going 7 days a week is pretty ridiculous. So we're going to make some changes like that tonight at 9 p.m. after dark. Coming at you. Big old stream, man. Al and Lavis have a lot to talk about. Some of the things that I got into last night with Darren, I've had conversations with Al about. He's got some thoughts, man. Got some opinions. A lot of weird stuff happening in Hollywood with all of these different characters, IPs, actors, people, movements, politics, all of it. It's all crazy. A lot of weird stuff happening. So make sure you check out After Dark. It's an incredible program. Al and Lavis will be going into great detail about some of the things that are happening in the world. But alas, there's no watch party. There's no watch party. I know. Well, we could do an Invincible watch party. Nah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing an Invincible watch party tonight. I'm excited to check out Invincible, but I certainly could use the space that will be created in the next couple of days without a watch party, because next week's going to be nutso NERDVENGERS. We are doing 2 watch parties for Bad Batch next week. Not 1, but 2. The first one's going to happen on a flippin' Monday night. Monday is already a crazy day. It's going to be even crazier as we do what I am sure will be an amazing Nerd Theory podcast with bringing the Nerd Council back on, just having a lot of just hype, building, excitement, just being big old nerds getting ready for the Bad Batch. And then later that evening, the Bad Batch 75-minute episode will premiere. And man, that's going to be dope. We'll be watching that behind the scenes with the NERDVENGERS in the tower, nice and cozy for a watch party. After that, we're going to be going live and talking about the spoilers for that program and everything that happened with the Bad Batch, probably really early in the AM. So that's going to be really cool. I think I have to turn off this alert box, though, because that's going to get a little wild. That's going to get a little cray. Sorry, guys. Can't do it. So that's pretty much all I think you need to know. We will be doing a massive NERDVENGERS stream. I've decided to make a big announcement that I was going to put off this Saturday. So if you're a NERDVENGER, if you're a person in the community, and you want to know a big secret of mine that I've been holding back, yes, some tea, as it were, you may want to come to the NERDVENGERS stream this Saturday, which will be taking place at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Why is that thing still happening? Why can I still hear the alerts? No! Turn it off. Get it out of here. Remove it. This is going to drive me crazy. And I know everybody's going to start to try to super chat now just to do it. And it's like, no, I must beat the chat. I must beat the chat. Get it out of here. Ah! Ah, get it out of here. Okay, hopefully we got rid of it. All right, anyway. Let's get into the news. Boys and girls, let's get into the news. And yeah, we have like a totally new kind of weird setup thing going on today. So again, apologies if there are a little bit of gaps in your regularly scheduled smooth ass stream. We'll work it out. We'll get back to being smooth AF in no time. In no time. Okay, so everybody just relájate, mi amigos. Relájate. Okay. Yeah, let's talk some news. Let me get this pulled up for you guys. Very interesting stuff yesterday. In fact, let's start here. Did y'all catch the nerdy news rundown yesterday? Talking about Norman Osborn? Y'all see that? Anybody? Bueller? Anybody? Anybody see that? Anybody see the news? Put a 1 into the chat if you synced it. Put a 1 into the chat if you synced it, ladies and gentlemen. Dang, look at all those ones. Hey, everybody slow down. Okay, we're going to get into this a little bit, okay? Even within the article that I looked at yesterday, there were some... basically, the point of it was more or less to say that there was a new deal, and we know about this new deal. We talked about it last week, between Sony and Disney that involved their content eventually landing on Disney Plus in what we must expect was a massive distribution deal. Now, the thing that's weird about this for me, and I think this is just kind of one of those fun moments, like kind of in the community, because I think a lot of people had speculated about this, and we talked about it, but it seemed like there had to be something going on behind the scenes that gave Disney chips on the table, so to speak, for this kind of a negotiation. Because in my mind, there's no leverage there other than the PR that was the bad PR that was created with Kevin Feige or whatever. I just didn't understand the leverage that Disney could possibly have in a negotiation to shore up and get what they wanted. Okay? I believe, and all indication is that was figured out, and that leverage had to do with Disney Plus. That the leverage had to do with Disney Plus. We had actually speculated about this. I think it was like 6 months ago. We had said, well, and it was actually not just out of the blue. It had to do with a writer for the Silk Show, which also got confirmed to be in live action production. It had to do with some way for the Silk Show saying something about their show being seen on Disney Plus. And that was weird. Obviously, we were like, that's weird. What does that mean? Was it just a slip of the tongue? What's going on there? You know what I mean? It would appear that was either a total coincidence and a slip up that just happened to align with things that were going on behind the scenes, or it might have been a very real slip up. It could have been a very real slip up. And this is where it gets weird. And frankly, we are going to have to get into some speculative territory here. So, you know, we'll try to be very clear about that. But I just certainly want to say that this is not a normal negotiation, and that the leverage of Kevin Feige as an asset, not as a person, but just paper as an asset for Disney, what that could mean. Oh my goodness, we got the alert box in here too. No! Remove it! That must be taken into account. That him being that producer and the potential revenue and value created for Sony was definitely a factor. However, the Disney Plus deal is really where the numbers are. That's where they can actually like speak to some real shit that will make sense to investors and move the negotiation forward. So anyways, now that I have blabbered, let us read this article here on Inverse. It's a bridge between the two companies. Spider-Man how Sony Disney streaming deal secures Tom Holland's MCU future. Okay. Wow. I totes agree. But why do you think so? It wasn't long ago that Disney and Sony terrified Marvel fans everywhere with their very public spat over the Spider-Man franchise. Nearly 2 years later, the once-wearing Hollywood giant seems friendlier than ever. That new camaraderie comes courtesy of an unprecedented streaming agreement, one that will see Sony's Spider-Man eventually swing onto Disney Plus alongside the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. Is it a sign that Peter Parker's future in the MCU is brighter than so many fans fear? Keep those webbed fingers crossed, but one analyst tells Inverse that this deal could lead to a lot more of Sony's Spider-Man at Disney-owned Marvel. According to Paul senior media analyst for Comscore, Disney and Sony may be laying the foundation for future collaborations beyond the upcoming Spider-Man No Way Home. I think it's a bridge between the two companies. Gerardabedian. I'm sure your name's awesome, man. I can't say it. No company would do this if there was no upside. Totally agree. It's predicated on the movies being good. And there is a track record that creates this confidence. Okay, so again, that is leaning a little bit into that Marvel Studios as an asset and the value that can happen from that being associated with that brand, right? What happened? Rival studios, Sony and Disney, have reached an agreement of undisclosed financial terms that will see Sony movies, including existing and future Spider-Man films, stream on Disney platforms like Hulu and Disney Plus and on Disney television channels. The deal is expected to begin in 2022 and lasts through 2026. Keith Legoy, president of Worldwide Distribution and Networks at Sony, told Variety, "We are thrilled to team up with Disney on delivering our titles to their viewers and subscribers." Inverse contacted Sony regarding the future of the Spider-Man movies. In light of the Disney deal, Sony could not be reached for comment. The Sony-Disney pact was announced a mere 2 weeks after Sony came to a separate agreement with the streaming titan Netflix that secures Sony's movies for pay one, a period of time distribution that begins roughly 9 months after a movie's theatrical release. A more complete look at the deal is over there. Disney has secured pay two for Sony movies, which is typically when a movie begins airing on TV. What this means for the MCU. The Spider-Man fans, for Spider-Man fans, here's what the news means on the most immediate level. You will soon see Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home on Disney Plus with the rest of the MCU beginning in 2022. For newer movies like Spider-Man No Way Home, which comes out in December, fans will see the movie first in theaters, then on Netflix, then on Disney Plus. All of that sounds neat, especially for Spidey webheads, but what about the future Spider-Man? What happens after Spider-Man No Way Home, which lead actor Tom Holland has confirmed is the last movie in his contract, despite also saying he wants to make more movies as Peter Parker? If you want to breathe a little easier, this might provide some comfort. Comscore's Paul endorses my own hunch that Sony-Disney pact is the sign the studio will continue producing more Tom Holland-led Spider-Man movies after No Way Home. It's an advantageous situation for both studios, for the benefit of one of the most beloved and financially successful superhero franchises. No one would be clamoring to get the rights if the films were terrible and not regarded by critics and fans. The new agreement stands in stark contrast to August 2019, when the same participating studios had a public spat over Spider-Man. On September 29th of 2019, the dust settled and the studios came to a new agreement that would result in one more standalone Spider-Man, which we now know is No Way Home, and one more appearance of Spider-Man in an MCU movie. The latter remains unknown. The new Disney-Sony pact isn't exclusively about Spider-Man. It's going to have to do with other thingies. Blah, 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 blah. Let's read down here. This deal fulfills needs for both companies and seeing the benefits of this. There's a lot of revenue to be had. There are so many moving parts in terms of revenue streaming for a franchise like Spider-Man. For the companies that control all or part of the content, it's about making the best decisions. For consumers, it's just going to be a one-stop shop for Marvel when they're on the small screen, which is great for consumers. Absolutely. Paul goes on to say, content is king. Subscribers make their choice on what is available on a platform than the name of the platform, 100%. When the consumer is the focus, companies considered rivals are finding ways to work together. I think we're going to see more of that. So pretty cool, sort of speaking more to the business side of things. Now I want to go over the article that we talked about yesterday, and this is a story from the hashtag show, which is talking about Storm and Norman Osborn. I definitely want to talk about Chloe as well, though. So, where are we at? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Check this out. There's a very important aspect to this that I want to go over. Okay. Right here. We know Norman, played by Willem Dafoe in the Raimi films, is making his cinematic universe debut. Many people have questions about what this means for the MCU. Part of this new deal means that Marvel has access to characters that they didn't before. Norman Osborn / Green Goblin was one such character. Disney and Marvel Studios have wanted to use him, but his rights were exclusively with Sony. That is so true, and we're going to talk about how true that was in a second. Meaning Sony were able to use him in full, but Marvel Studios, up until last week, couldn't. Obviously, things got murky with the inclusion of Willem Dafoe's Goblin, but that has sort of softened up by the Sony's idea of sharing the character. Marvel Studios' plan was to bring in Willem Dafoe as the primary villain for No Way Home. But I can exclusively share that because of the most recent deal, there now exists a separate version of Norman Osborn in the MCU. Peter will begin to research his Earth's version of Norman Osborn after fighting with Willem Dafoe, Green Goblin. But there's a twist. He's seemingly not an awful guy. He has political aspiration, makes charitable donations, and even supports the Avengers. They're playing off the idea that it's a different Earth with no villain or hero is guaranteed to be on the same path. Yes, that means a different Norman Osborn. So basically they go on to talk about what the plan is, and they say it's going to be a 3 to 5 year plan to set him up as both a major Spider-Man villain and a major Avengers villain. Okay? This wasn't something Marvel had finalized until last week. Like, holy shit. So we have no concrete details on which projects he'll appear in. Although there's still time for No Way Home, for a No Way Home cameo or post-credit scene. The 4th Tom Holland film is mentioned in the leaked document I read. So it's a safe bet. And possibly a Disney Plus series as well, as the document I viewed mentioned that the person could appear on Disney Plus. Now we're going to get really fucking pumped and really way too hyped, okay? Here's something that they're saying. Marvel has offered the role to an actor who has not accepted the role yet. This actor is a prominent New Yorker who has a history with Marvel Studios. When or if the deal is finalized, we'll share more. Okay, so first of all, of course, we want to speculate about who that is, and that's dope. But let's talk about a little bit of, like, what the hell all of this really means. You know what I mean? Like, what does this mean? Well, here we go. We had heard, let me just kind of take you through some just thoughts that I have. Just thoughts, man. You know what I mean? Just thoughts. I know and I remember a time when it was heavily reported that Marvel Studios had a 5 to 6 year plan that would set up an Earthbound villain and an Earthbound set of stories while also setting up a cosmic story and a cosmic set of villains and a cosmic side to this thing. Does anybody remember that report? Does anybody remember multiple reports about this? Let me know in the chat. Let me know. Let me know. Okay, stay with me. Stay with me on this. Does anybody remember that at San Diego Comic-Con in 2019, after only revealing 2 years of content, When asked about Mutants and Fantastic Four, Feige said he had a 5-year plan that didn't include those properties and that we wouldn't really be seeing a lot of that stuff until 5 years out. Does anybody remember that? Stay with me on this. Okay. So, I also was told around that time that Norman Osborn was absolutely the Earthbound villain. That he was absolutely the one they wanted to push heavily as that Earthbound villain. Okay? Well, what happened in 2019 right before San Diego Comic-Con? Sony pulled the proverbial rug out from underneath Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios. I want to ask you to remember another thing. Do you remember that there were stories and reports about the gross for Spider-Man Far From Home? Reports saying that if the movie made $1 billion, Tom Holland's future was secured. But if it didn't make $1 billion, the rights would immediately revert back to Sony. Does anybody remember this story? I'm testing your memory a lot. You know, the Wake and Bake Vengers are probably like, bro, no, I'm not there. Can't do it. Can't do it. But you'll be all right. Just follow along or just act like you are. So my speculation since almost Jump Street in 2019 was that there's no fucking way that was the Phase 4 announcement that Marvel Studios wanted to drop on our heads. There's no fucking way that that's the 5-year plan. There's no fucking way that all of this is going according to plan. And so from the moment in 2019 when they made that lackluster San Diego announcement and it felt like we're all just supposed to get hyped about all these films that we have no connection to without the sort of next stuff, right? Ever since that moment, I've had a weird feeling and a weird vibe with regards to Marvel content. And obviously the pandy and everything that happened in 2020 only exacerbated, I'm sure, what was already a crazy situation. But I was definitely and distinctively told that in regards to the Earthbound villain, Feige wanted it to be Norman Osborn. But I was also told, and this is very important, pay attention. I was also told that Feige had designed the role in a way that if Sony was an absolute butthole about it and didn't let this man get Norman Osborn, that he could have plugged in a different character into that role, whether that be a Justin Hammer, whether that be a version of Stark or Stark's long-lost brother. There were multiple options for essentially the benefactor, perhaps and likely the person that was talking to Sharon. A lot of that stuff was all, I believe, going to be connected to Storm and Norman, or connected to someone that they could have just replaced Storm and Norman with. And so basically what I'm telling you is, quietly last week, without us maybe fully realizing it, the deal between Sony and Marvel and the solidifying of that deal publicly has allowed Marvel to finally start actually moving forward on their plans, to finally start actually pulling this stuff together. And I think that all of the hype and the anticipation and the excitement that we as fans felt going through 2020 when a lot of this stuff was leaking out and we were just thinking about it, and a lot of the rumors and the speculation about Spider-Man 3, the speculation of Sony and Marvel and working that out, Toby, Andrew, all of it's connected. We're not crazy. We're not dumb. We saw it in the tea leaves. And we started to put the shit together. That's my opinion. You know what I mean? That's my opinion. A lot of this obviously can't be proven. It is speculation. But I'm just saying, if you go back and think about this, the way that these events transpire, what is being reported now, what was being reported then, it seems pretty fucking obvious to me. It seems obvious that Sony gave Kevin the chain yank. They put him in a way worse situation than we realized. He and Marvel publicly kept their chin up, Tom Holland deserves a lot of credit. Amy Pascal deserves a lot of credit. All of these people deserve a lot of credit. I also don't think it's a mistake or an accident that a couple of weeks ago, a lot of bad press starts coming out about AV Arad, Tom Rothman, you know what I mean? Some of those situations over there. So, I don't know. It's another one of those weird situations, man. Look, I've tried to be very charitable to Marvel and to everything that I think is going on. But frankly, like, I just got to call it how I see it. I think the reality is they've been shuffling like a motherfucker over there. And they've been shuffling because they've had to. You know what I mean? Not just because of the pandy, but because Sony put them in an awkward situation. You know what I mean? Sony put them in an awkward situation. It feels like it's all good now. But I think that's what happened. You know what I mean? I think that's what happened. I of course don't know for sure. You know what I mean? But you see it in the tea leaves, and it's like, it's very interesting, man. It's very interesting. Everybody's shuffling like Zemo. Indeed, sir. Indeed. Oh no, did someone just gamble away all their shit? All right, let's I want to talk about this whole briefly, and then we'll get into Q&A. I want to talk about what the F happened with Warner Brothers, like how they continue to just spit in the face of Zack Snyder. It's so frustrating, man. It's so frustrating. Here, let me just pull it up. All right. Warner Brothers posted a trailer, a trailer for Justice League coming in 4K. But it's the Justice League. It's the Justice League version of the movie coming out in 4K. Look, man. You know, you could say, hey, maybe this was something set up a long time ago. You know, maybe it's a social media account that was set up a long time ago. Maybe it's an accident. Maybe this sect of Warner Brothers and this social media arm or whatever, they're not, you know, in touch with whatever. You know, you could make it all kinds of excuses. You could really try to be charitable about this, but the deal is, Warner Brothers has shown you who they are over and over again. Over and over again. We got no numbers on the Snyder Cut. We just got some numbers talking about how it's #1 in digital downloads and some extra things coming out of the UK. No numbers. You know, some numbers that I just think are bullshit. Way too late. No building on the hype. Disrespect from their president. You know what I mean? Coming out and saying we've completed the trilogy. We have, you know, no. Basically, man, let's just call it what it is. These people are not gonna fuck with Zack. You know what I mean? These people are not gonna mess with Zack. And if they are, damn, you guys need to say something. Like, I just think it's ridiculous that you have all of these different people within Warner Brothers. Like, how is it not mandated? How is it not memorandumed? You know what I mean? How is it not company-wide, publicly known, fully embraced and explained from leadership to every member of the team, particularly members of the team that control your social media accounts? Like, are you that dumb? Like, are you that dumb? Kind of seems like you're that dumb. It's unbelievable to me. It's unbelievable to me. And you know what? The more that stuff like this happens, I'm just going to be really interested. All these companies should be shaking in their boots, man. All of these companies should be shaking in their boots. The more they try to hold on to this old paradigm of being able to communicate and control the narrative as the whole fucking world changes around them, the more they are going to be in deep, deep trouble moving forward. Deep, deep trouble. I am interested to see what's going on. I've always tried to be fair to Warner Brothers and give them credit for things that they do right. But holy shit, is this some brain dead shit? You know what else happened? Just so you guys know. Zach commented about this shit, man. Zach himself on Vero said that this was crossing the line. Zach himself, man. Like, it's, the shit ain't subtweeting, man. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, it's fucking full-blown warfare out in the middle of the friggin' streets. It's crazy, man. They're so dumb. They're so dumb, dude. Here it is right here. This is where Zach commented. Oh, where's it at? Darkseid commented on it, but Zach did as well. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild, bros. The Justice League 4K trailer, like, oh my gosh. Like, just, ugh. So gross. So gross. Real quick, too, just because I have it pulled up. There was some drama yesterday. I found this really weird. Like, one of those stupid internet things, I'm sure. Where people were being dramatic about Feige's comments about Chloe and the VFX and shit like that. I mean, it's so hard for me to sort through, like, whack-ass people and their feelings and, like, what's real. But, like, Chloe's movie's gonna be amazeballs, y'all. Like, amazeballs. Okay? Like, she's shot what they're saying is, like, cinematically, like, some of the most beautiful shit they've ever done in the MCU. Okay? They have Paul Thomas Anderson's editor coming into work on this film. Like, damn. Damn. Holy crap. Absolute insanity, man. You know, I don't even know if we're fully ready for the goodness that is coming with Eternals. You know, Feige also spoke to the fact that Jenna Chan is absolutely the lead. She, from what we understand, her and her relationship with Black Knight will be sort of the core piece of the film. Amazing. Wonderful. Can't wait to see it. Eternals is going to be dope. I'm quite excited about it. So, I don't know. I just wanted to comment on that because Feige had made mention that when he was talking to the Disney people, okay, let's just see if we can find it. When he was talking to people at Disney, yeah, here we go. He says here, Chloe was really fighting for practical locations for Eternals. They cut a sample reel to show Disney higher-ups where Kevin Feige praised how this is right out of the camera with no VFX at all. And somehow, people interpreted this as him throwing shade or something. Like, I don't know. It's so crazy to me that people interpreted his comments there in a negative way. You know what I mean? This is where a lot of it comes from, is this Variety article. Hopefully, people who are saying Jenna Chan's role would be shortened during editing because she was apparently hard to work with can stop now. Cersei and Black Knight possibly joining the Avengers down the line. Unpopular parent, blah, 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 blah. Casey Walsh said that, LMAO. I think he's somewhat reliable, but man, he's been missing a lot lately. He said Mephisto and Nightmare would show up in WandaVision, and said Inhumans in the virus plot. Casey Walsh might be getting bonered harder than a lot of other people I know, huh? And it's rough when you get that hard boner. Pause. Sometimes you gotta just bend over and take the boner. Pause. Okay, here we go. Q&A. Q&A. Questions and answers. Let's get to it. Let's get to it, ladies and gentlemans. I have to... No. Get that out of my face. Okay, I think I can pull it up. Haha! Come on, stream. What the fuck, man? Why can I not see this? This is garbage, Stream Labs. You are garbage. I need you to do better. Okay. See, the last one is 26 minutes ago. Dude, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to freak out. Why are you not working? You know what? No, I have to do it through YouTube. That's the trick, because even StreamYard is unreliable. 2 seconds, guys. 2 seconds. We'll get this sorted. 2 seconds. By 2 seconds, I mean a couple minutes. Everybody shut up. Shut your mouth. Shut it. Shut. You just seeming stupid now. What movie is that from? What movie is it from? Tell me. I demand to know. All right, first let's go through the memberships. Okay, I guess we won't go through the memberships. YouTube, you motherfuckers. Oh no, it's trying to play some Mac Miller. Can't do that. That's illegal. Even though I do love that song. Dude, you gotta be kidding me. I have to literally Oh, I hate technology. 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 If I could anthropomorphize all technology into a person, I would do violence to them. I would do violence to them, and I would not feel bad. I would say, you know, you've brought this on yourself, technology. You've done this to yourself. And I would beat the living shit out of them. Okay, anyway, let's try to fix all the fucking problems live and then get into the Q and the A. Okay. Okay, Dan the Man for the $5 hollow says, good morning, good brother Josh. Is it true Nerd Theory is doing a fan film event in July? Where do I submit? Also, can I chop it up on Monday? Dan, so I am trying to rotate in different NERDVENGER members to Nerd Council, and I have a couple already on deck for Monday, but I will let you know about that. And also, yeah, we are doing the film festival thing. I definitely think doing it by July is a huge mistake. I tried to say to Theory that we should just push it to next year. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe he'll figure it all out and make it simple. Nathan Tattoos with a $5 holla says, take time for you, boo-boo. Just racking up coin to take out Mr. Anderson. Oh, yeah. I appreciate you, brother. No, I'm doing good, man. I feel good. Yesterday was a good day. Got a lot done. T-Love with a $15 holla says, don't you ever leave us hanging again. Next time you have technical issues, you better buy a laptop from Best Buy, steal McDonald's Wi-Fi, and stream with a Big Mac in your hand. Take my McFlurry money. Damn. All right, T-Love. I see how it is. Look, man, nobody wants to get these problems figured out more than me, man. Trust me. But I appreciate the love. Well, it's too much. Keaton Haas with a $5 house says, yes, take the weekends off. You and the den deserve it. I appreciate all of your hard work. Thank you, Keaton. Yeah, we'll still do the NERDVENGER streams on Saturday. Those are such a great time. We might even be able to move them either back to noon or maybe to 1. And those streams are going to be better. But also, those streams will have less pressure on them as well. That'll just be a nice, hangout stream, getting all the info out there, talking about all the different things. And then the business, here's the thing. If you are at a Prime level and you're trying to extract the most value out of that membership, you need to get that info in your work week, okay? No serious business meetings and actual progress is made on the weekends in that kind of a setting. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to end up being like Fridays at 4 or something. And we might go like an hour or 2. And then just really dig into the nitty gritty of what I want to do at the Prime membership and explaining my sort of thoughts and business and marketing and all that. So yeah, man. That's something that we'll do, but it's all about using our energy in the best way. You know what I mean? The whole team is ready to go to work. Everybody wants to blow this thing up and work really hard, but it's my job to make sure that we have the right avenues by which to use that energy most effectively. Josh I with the $20 holla says, Josh, I showed my girl Ava the shout out you did for her and she loved it. Thank you so much, brother. You really made her birthday special. She was like, I now have an Uncle Josh and a Daddy Josh. Oh man, thanks again. Take my money. That's so sweet, man. That is so friggin' sweet. That's awesome. Zach Baldwin says with the $350, 2 watch parties next week wins the second one. So I believe the second one will be Thursday. It'll be Thursday night at that sort of regularly scheduled 3 a.m. kind of thing, because I believe that's when they'll do the next episode. Then the next episode is only gonna be like 30 minutes or whatever, so it'll be a quick watch party. We'll chat about it, and then we'll probably go live. But I think the show is gonna air Thursday nights, Friday mornings. But the first episode's dropping Monday night for May the 4th, which will be Tuesday, right? So, yeah, kind of fun. AJ Flores says, Alfred Molina reprising his role as Mike Ock and Toby cameo as Hugh Huge Erection will def give me a boner. Awful puns aside, love the content, bro. Hey, thank you, AJ. Those were not awful puns. Those are awful reading. I was like, what? But, amen. Sketchy Eddie with the $5 holla says, woot, I made a stream. Yeah, man, we'd love to see you, Eddie. We'd love to see you. By the way, I have something in the works for the people that can't make the morning streams to still be able to get nerd coin and stuff. I'll explain it. I'll explain more later. Nerd Multiverse with the $5 holler says, hey, Josh, first super chat. Been watching ever since the first Nerd Theory. Wanted to say you're sleeping on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Ghost Rider for Doc Strange 2. Oh, man. Yeah. Thanks, man. I'm glad. First of all, that does mean a lot. Appreciate the love. Secondly, man, yeah, that whole Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. thing, man. I don't know if I can do it, man. I don't know, man. I don't know about that. But Ghost Rider and Doc Strange 2 would be really cool. And I did like what they did with Robbie on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It was just so short-lived, and it burned through their whole VFX budget, and then the show was balls. In my opinion, of course. Enrique Horobo says, Sony pulls out. Feige new villain. Osborn, Orman Nosborn. Yeah, for sure, man, right? If Sony would have pulled out, he might have just been like, this is Orman Nosborn. That would be pretty funny. Max Ross with the $5 holla says, we can't be calling him Storm and Norman in the speculation hype world we live in, man. Every time you say it, I think Storm and Norman Osborn. That's exactly what I'm talking about. No, I'm just playing. No, maybe you're right. Maybe we need to be more careful about that, huh? I don't know, man. Nathan Tattoos with a very generous $20 holla says, for them not give the cards to Snyder. For them not to give the cards to Snyder, spitting in the face of fans that showed their incentives are strictly profit. Yep. It sucks, man. You know, I made the point on Twitter, too, that, like, Zach didn't get any money from that. He legitimately gave them an asset that I value at least $300 million, if not more. He helped create an asset that has that much value, and they didn't extract the right value out of it. That's on them. But he created an asset for them and then didn't get anything. There's no money in his bank account because of this, you know? It's just wild, bro. I mean, in some ways, the charity and the work, that's really the thing. And from the artist's perspective of finishing his, like actually getting his vision out there, it was probably incredible to him. But there's no money in his bank account from it, dude. It's crazy. Warner Brothers UK/Ireland and Germany put up the Snyder version trailer up and like date restore the Snyderverse comment. Internal fighting. Absolutely, Liam. Absolutely. There's been internal fighting at Warner Brothers even before the Justice League, you know? But I mean, come on, man. If you're a leader, like that's on leadership. You know what I mean? That's on the leadership. You know what I mean? Like, how are fans supposed to feel? Oh, man, screw Warner Brothers, kind of, because there's some nice people in there? No. That's not how fans think. Fans think emotionally. Humans think emotionally. Humans think in story. What's the story here? It's a shitty story. You know what I mean? It's a shitty story. So, change the story. But yeah, I agree, Liam. There's definitely something going on between the social media accounts. Felicity with a $10 holla says, I guarantee you that Warner Brothers had some unknown crazy metric that needed to be met if they were going to continue Snyderverse. But facts, piece of shit, Warner Brothers went, piece of shit. What's new? Josh, say hi to Tina for us, man. You're just going to try names? You're just going to try names until you nail it? Yeah, I'll tell her hi. 34 Virgo says, see, I can agree with you on your reshuffling, but you aren't feeling me on the our hack. Okay, see, I can agree with you on your reshuffling, but you aren't feeling me on the our high expectations is disappointing. No, I think I agree with you that my high expectations are a part of it. I think where we disagree is that you think that my high expectations are solely the cause and also completely on me. I would tell you that Marvel Studios, being the brand that it is, Infinity War and Endgame being the pop cultural phenomenon that they were, has created high expectations, not just in me, but in many, many fans. So that's where I think I disagree with you, 34 Virgo. Zodi with the $10 holla says, why do you think the Netflix Marvel shows were so much better than the Disney Plus shows? Simple. More creative control, vision by the directors, showrunners, the people involved. Okay. Now, some of that didn't perfectly work. You look at Scott Buck on Iron Fist. It's obvious the outlier, because the Netflix guy or the Daredevil guy left after season 1, I believe. You know what I mean? And they got someone great for season 2, but I think that person left too. You know what I mean? So talent, just talent, and it was truly vision first. You know what I mean? It was vision first. So that's why I think that the Netflix shows were better ultimately, because Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you could just feel all. I mean, you listen to Malcolm Spellman do interviews, and it's like, yo, like, you're telling me a lot by not telling me a lot. You know what I mean? You're telling me a lot of things that you're not supposed to talk about. You're talking a lot to the Disney of it all. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. So again, there's clearly been changes. They went from 8 episodes. Falcon and Winter Soldier went from 8 episodes to 6. Spellman's talking about a cut storyline that was so dope. He wants it to be in a comic book, and he hopes that it will be seen someday. So there's a dope enough story for him to talk about, acknowledge, and yeah, does he rebut that it has anything to do with the pandy? Sure. He also says, I've been told not to talk about that. So some of his answer could be boilerplating. You know what I mean? But there's definitely the reality that it went from 8 to 6, that there was a big chunk of it that was cut out. Spellman also all but confirms that Old Man Steve was going to be in that film, or in that movie, or fucking show. So why was he cut? You know what I mean? The writer for WandaVision said, if you feel like there's something missing in WandaVision, yeah, it is, and it's coming, and it's Marvel, you'll get it down the road, right? So they're acknowledging that there's been massive changes, been stuff cut out, and been stuff gone. It's just really hard for shows that have that much oversight, pressure, and have been reshuffled to compete with shows like Daredevil that were just happened at a special time. A lot of amazing people working on it, great leadership, and a true vision. You know what I mean? Machine Gun Carter with a $5 holla says, fan casting, Josh is Johnny Storm, Fantastic Four. That would be dope, dude. That would be dope. Niman says, do you think Shang-Chi is under a lot of pressure? I do think Shang-Chi is under a lot of pressure for a variety of different reasons. But I think that Shang-Chi looks amazing. I think Shang-Chi will perform very well. And I just, oh man, yeah, I'm just hoping that the vision of the people involved was paramount and not bending to censorship in other markets or changing things because of perceptions and all that, man, you know? I don't like that shit. Big Stevie with the $50 holla says, you forgot to go back to Zach's response. This DC crap is really ticking me off. This is all ego. That's it. The business reasons to continue the Snyder content somehow are obvious. They are doing the effing multiverse. Sigh. Is it too early to start day drinking? Yeah, so Stevie, there's a lot of good points in there. You're absolutely right. I didn't show you on screen Zach's response, but he did respond to it. It was not in kind. You know what I mean? It's just obvious that there's a huge thing there. Zach has kind of been trying to tell his own fans that he doesn't think they're going to invite him back for months. I've been also trying to sort of lay that expectation. I think it's ridiculous. However, I still think we might get more Batfleck, and I still think some of that stuff could happen on Disney Plus or on HBO Max. But they're probably not going to bring Zach back. You know what I mean? Which is really weird. Really weird. And they've seemed to just want to have their cake and eat it too since the beginning of it of the Snyderverse. It's like they want to say, hey, man, y'all realize we just did this whole thing to recreate the Snyder cut for you. It's like, yeah, but you fucked it up. You're the ones that fucked it up. So, yeah, it's awesome that you did your best effort to try to put it back together. But, man, we know it's not altruistic. You guys did it to try to get subscribers to HBO Max. Totally understandable. But, like, stop acting like you did us a favor. You didn't do us a favor. If anything, you righted a wrong that you fucking committed. That you fucking committed. And we're just supposed to be like, thanks. That was pretty dope, though. Where's the rest of it? Oh, it's all not happening? Oh, it's not? Fucking, okay. I mean, the way, for me, it's like they're trying to treat fans like children, dude. And that shit just isn't going to work. Adam G with the 350 says, New Yorker for Norman. Marvel reconnected RDJ. 50 Cent. I don't know. It is pretty interesting, right? What big New Yorker has a history with Marvel Studios? Let's ask that question. What big-time New Yorker, as a predominant actor, has a history with Marvel Studios? Any thoughts? Any thoughts? According to the Sokovian says, fill the weekend with community content. That is the plan. Of the people, by the people, for the people. I volunteer as tribute. Discord stage to the moon. Actually, yeah. So I'm going to talk more about this in the videos that I'm releasing later for the Discord, okay? But Al and I did have this conversation. Some of you are aware. I was like worried a bit about After Dark and just some of the things that were going on there. But really, when Al and I talked about it, the reality is it's not that stuff doesn't have a place or that's not what we should be doing. It's the fact that was running into other expectations and things that we had, including streams, NERDVENGERS or business, and afternoon. The reality was it was just dumb. We were just all causing each other a lot of stress for no fucking reason. The streaming and produced content is not happening on the weekend, but community stuff is going to be flourishing on the weekends. As it should be. You know what I mean? So that is kind of the mentality there, Krim. So appreciate the love, my friend. Big Stevie says, I think now that you know Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not canon, you will accept some of the changes they made. That's fair, Stevie. That's fair. Maybe I should give it a chance. Uh-oh. Elisa says, one day I will get you on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and you will like it. Whew. Scary, man. That's a little scary right there. Rogue Soul with the $5 holla says, just Elisa simpin'. Nice, man. Back to back. Nicely done. Let me see if I can refresh the... Okay, looks like we got a couple more. Let's go through these here. John Van Galderen Jr. says, do you think Jason Kilar wants the Snyderverse restored? The $5 holler. I think that he does, but I think that CEOs are in incredibly weird positions often. You know what I mean? Jason has to answer to a lot of different people, and he's already rocked the boat in a lot of different ways coming in, so I'm sure there's always the thing that, like, as a CEO, if you're too fucking radical, like, the board will just get rid of you. You know what I mean? So he's not just the emperor over there. You know what I mean? So I'm sure that he does want the Snyderverse restored, but he also fully understands that his job is actually to keep everything above water and copacetic moving forward, and that includes like he can't just have all of HBO or Warner Media turn against him. He can't just have all of Warner Brothers and all of the power players that are connected to Warner Brothers turn against him, right? So he's in an interesting choice or an interesting situation as well. But I think ultimately, if you asked him straight up, he would say yes. Chris says, did you see that Matt Landry confirmed that the animated Anakin Skywalker is going to return? Do you think he will be voice Vader in the Bad Batch? Yeah, but I also think there could be some flashbacks to Anakin or even some scenes from Anakin in doing some Order 66 stuff around the Bad Batch time. Interesting. AJ Flores says, any chance of Snyder at DC Fandom now? Well, that is a very big question, man. That is a very big question. I think that it's probably going to be a no from Snyder, but they could lean into some Batfleck stuff, maybe even do some Henry Cavill Superman. If they did decide to do that, that could be good and play nicely with Snyder fans. I think they've lost a good portion of them, and I don't think they're going to bring Zack back. And that means that loss is likely long-term. Tom says, with a $10 holla, say hi to Brandy, Heather, Brianna, Amber, Sabrina, Melody, Dakota's here. Fucking Becky? Yeah, good guesses all. Good guesses all, Tom. Good guesses all. We'll talk about it. 34 Virgo says, okay, I agree. Infinity and Endgame set a very high bar. They did set a very high bar, man. And that's okay. You know, and it's okay that maybe we're missing that bar for a little bit. I lived through Phase 2. I remember. You know what I mean? I remember. Okay, let's see here. Chase Floyd with a very generous $50 hauler. Holy cow, says Josh. No question, nor will I beg you in this super chat to watch Demon Slayer movie. But I just wanted to say I appreciate what you do each and every day. Being a truck driver, I appreciate all the hours of entertainment you provide me. Keep it up, bro. Hey, Chase, I appreciate the love, my friend. That means a lot, man. That means a lot. And now I'm definitely going to go see the Demon Slayer movie for sure, brother. And just so you know, the amount of content is probably about to double, which is something else we've been working on behind the scenes. But we appreciate it, man. We really do. You guys are making a lot of possible for us, which is incredible. Neman says Hugh Jackman lives in New York. Oh, how about that? How about that? That would be awesome, dude. That would be incredible. Felicity says, if Hollywood doesn't realize the homogenous L, or humongous L, rather, they took with the Oscars trash, I don't know what else to say. Brittany, get... Dang, Felicity. You're doing the most right now with that. Appreciate you, though. Yeah, there's a lot of tone deafness going on in Hollywood. A lot of scrambling, too, just trying to figure out how much they can hold on to the old paradigm. I understand it. It's natural. But I think they're underestimating how fast this change is going to happen. We'll see how the theaters respond to coming back. You know what I mean? We'll see. We'll have a look at it by the end of the year. Marvel's been keeping the movie industry alive for the past 5 years. Marvel might be able to keep it alive for another 5, dude. But these other studios need to shape up. It's absolutely absurd what they're doing to Zach over there. Kulahai says, I just saw DC Fandom 2021 advert. 85% behind the scenes Snyder Cut stuff. But they're choking out all movie info. Warner Brothers equal butt sauce. Wow, that's really interesting. I'll have to check that out, man. That is crazy that they might leverage all the dopeness from the Snyder Cut and yet give no love. No real love. You know? Tom says, Hank Azaria? Let's see. Let's see here. Maybe. What was he in Marvel already? He's a predominant New Yorker, that's for sure. Who knows, man? I really wanted Matthew McConaughey, but he is a Texan. He is a Texan. Normies to nerds. Kendall says, just throw in some coins to cover my gambling addiction. Took 4 L's this morning. Oh, no! Guys, the gambling. Look, gambling is not... I mean, gambling's fun, but it's gambling, y'all. It's gambling. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. John Van Gelderen says, can we possibly get a Vader Palpatine scene in Bad Batch? I think we could, man. I say, why not? I've always wanted to see them interact right after Anakin becomes Vader. Me too, bro. And you know what's beautiful about the setup for this? And I'm going to talk about this in a preview video. That's right, folks. I'm doing a preview video for the Bad Batch. We're bringing back Star Wars content. I'm sorry, it's been a while. I'm trying here. We're shuffling a lot of things around. Anyway, what's so dope about this is, if you think back to Season 7 of the Clone Wars, that ending elevates moments from the film. We hear moments from the films. We see some things that happen in the film, but the scenes elevate the moments in the film while also building up their own intrinsic value. It's crazy what Dave is able to do. He understands the story. He understands the beats, the emotional elements of these moments so well that I do think we will get more Vader and the Emperor. I do think we will see Anakin before maybe he goes to Mustafar. I think it's possible. Pretty crazy. I'm excited. Al Pacino is from New York, apparently. Yeah, wouldn't that be something, Tom? Wouldn't that be something? Elisa Scott says, homogeneous. Homogeneous. Humongous. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Are we done? Are we done? Are we done with that? Are we all good, guys? Is everybody okay? Can we move on? Adam G says, what about D'Onofrio for Osborn? New York Marvel connected. Yeah, but wouldn't you rather see D'Onofrio as the Kingpin going up against some real legend with Oscorp? I think that would be lit, my man. So I hear you, but I would just love... I want both. Why not both, man? You know? Neman, gambled my way to top 25. Let's go! Nicely done. Tom says, Sylvester Stallone is New York and been in Guardians. What? That would be dope, dude. That would be dope. Sly is Osborn? Kind of liking it. Kind of digging it. Kind of into it. Kind of feeling it. Kind of feeling it. That's nice. What's going on in the chat? Looks like I missed some memberships too. Let's try to go back here. Let's see here. The Bodacious Black Bat. Welcome to the NERDVENGERS at the NERDVENGER Prime level. Come by this Sunday, but again, we are going to be rescheduling that. Machine Gun Carter upgraded to the NERDVENGER Prime level. Welcome to the Prime level, my friend. We'll be talking a lot of business real soon for y'all. Very excited about that. Very excited about that. Okay. So let's see here. What's going on in the chat? What y'all saying in the chat? Final Super. How about debate 8 last night with 8 top options for the future of Miss... Oh, man. Y'all are too much. Who's my favorite Spider-Man? You mean of the... I like Tom Holland the best out of the live-action ones. Yeah, Sheev says, whoever plays Norman, I hope they have waves. Orange hair and waves. Yeah, Osborn, legend in the streets for having the best waves ever put on a white man's head. You know what I mean? Like, the waves on that dude's head just give you pause. You know, you want to see his 23andMe. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on there, man? You want some Toby news, man? Toby, I think is a lock. I think Toby is a go. Toby is a go. Let's see here. Lord North says, first, I just want to say I love my NERDVENGER family. We could also have our own community-based, version of the Oscars. Show them how it's really done. Let's go. No, that's definitely something we're thinking about. What MCU movie do you think is on the slate that hasn't been announced yet? Ah, man, that's tough to say. Again, a lot of shuffling. Do you think Leonardo DiCaprio would join the MCU? Who do you think he would play best? Leo. Who should Leo play? I don't know. That's a tough one, man. I'm not good at these castings. I really am not. I'm good at, like, when you guys come up with them and I'm like, oh, that works. I don't know if I'm good at figuring that out exactly. You know what I mean? Wait a minute. Is Giancarlo Esposito from New York? Somebody tell me now. Is Giancarlo Esposito a New Yorker? Somebody tell me now. Hawks Holocron says, hey, just paying rent for hijacking a Discord chat with my salty attitude. Cheers. Love all of you nerds. Take my sorry. Yeah. No, it's all good, man. I'm sure you were a butthole, but I'm sure it's okay. Like, everybody buttholes a little bit. You know what I mean? T Love says, Toby. Yeah, man. It's funny how Warner Brothers would be loved if they treated their assets like Marvel does. Yeah, you're right. We complain. This is fair, okay? This is a fair point, and it's an important point to bring up. We complain about 2 Disney Plus shows not exactly living up to the absurd expectations that we have. You know, maybe a little on us, a little on Marvel. We complain about that. But let's acknowledge that that's not even fucking close to where Warner Brothers is at. Like, we should really be grateful and thankful for Kevin Feige, Victoria Alonso, Nate Moore, a lot of these people. We should be very thankful to them, and we should, you know, maybe I should make it a more of a point to praise those aspects of Marvel Studios, because it's incredible what they've been able to do. Incredible! But I still have to be critical even of the studio that I think is doing the best, you know what I mean? So you still gotta be critical. But it is worth pointing out. Giancarlo is from Denmark. Okay, well, there goes that, huh? I'm still dying on the Martin. Yeah, I like that. I like that pick, too. I like that pick. Let's see here. Mike House. Damian Lewis for Norman. Homeland from Bill. Okay, let me see. I mean, he looks good. I'm not really familiar with him, though. Not really familiar with him at all. I can just kind of see it right away, though. Got the orange hair. Could they get those waves in there, though, you know? Could they get those waves in there, you know what I mean? DiCaprio is Cyclops? Ed Harris? Yo, is Ed Harris from New York? Dude, Harvey Keitel would be incredible. Go watch Billions? Who's my favorite Spidey villain that's not Norman? That's interesting. Who's my favorite Spidey villain that's not Norman? I mean, maybe Kraven. I mean, Kraven's Last Hunt is so incredible, and he's just really interesting, dude. And the whole idea of wanting to die and stuff, it's really crazy. Venom's a great one. But Kraven's Last Hunt is just so dope, dude. Esposito grew up in New York, though? Okay. So he could technically be considered a New Yorker. If you grow up in New York, you're a New Yorker. Interesting. But I don't know if he's famous as being a New Yorker. You know what I mean? Jason O'Mara for Norman, but he's not from New York. Interesting. Very interesting. The Jackal was cool. The Jackal was a cool villain. I mean, look, Peter Parker's greatest villain, folks. Do you want to know what it is? Do you want to know who Peter Parker's greatest villain is? Anybody? Anybody know who Peter Parker's greatest villain is? Poverty. Poverty is Peter's greatest villain. The best shit with Peter is he's got to save the world and still figure out how to help Aunt May with the rent. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Atomic Champ says, hey man, Endgame ended the storyline of many characters who were the face of the MCU. Which characters do you see as being the face of the MCU now? Well, again, I think it was going to be, I think in 2019, before Sony pulled the rug out, it was going to be Captain Marvel, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, and Peter Parker. Of course, we lost Chad. Tragic. They pulled out Peter. That left them with Doctor Strange and Captain Marvel. We know how people feel about Captain Marvel. Let's just say divided at the very least. And Doctor Strange, although a lot of people love him, has not really been front-facing in a lot of the phase 1, 2, and 3 of the MCU. And so I do think there was a massive shuffle. You know what I mean? A massive shuffle. Yeah. Michael Rappaport? Oh, please. Please. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it there. Again, a little bit of changes happening to the program, to the tower. We're hoping to get, I thought I was going to be able to get the green screen stuff going today, but alas, a stupid error occurred. But we're very close to massive changes and upgrades for this program and all of our programs on this channel and the regular channel, the Den of Nerds. Speaking of that, at 6 p.m. today, you will have a nerdy news rundown on the main Den of Nerds channel. We have figured out some of those glitches and we think we've got that sorted, so boom, should be going good to go. Okay, one more super chat that came in says, from the music guy, solid Step Brothers reference earlier. Love you, Josh. Take my money. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I want my 2 hours, damn it. Renee, I know. I want the 2 hours too. I want the 2 hours, bro. Trust me, I want the 2 hours. It might be 2 hours plus. It's going to be a lot of hours. Just trust me. All right, everybody. All right. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you. Almost burped. Right. That was awkward. Sorry. I'll see you in the next video. Did everybody go? Is everybody gone? Did everybody go? I would just say that if you come to the Saturday stream, maybe some of the things that have been going on over the past couple of weeks might make a little bit more sense. Or maybe not. What do I know? We almost have all the pieces in place. It's almost time to take over completely.